To watch these important lessons, subscribe to DP Education's YouTube channel right now. Click on the bell icon to stay updated on the latest lessons. Sri Lanka's largest free online school, DP Education.
Hello O-level students. Today I am going to discuss GCE examination 2020 paper that was held in May 2023. So this is paper 2 and you get 3 hours. And also you get additional 10 minutes reading time. During that time, you can select 5 questions from part A and 5 questions from part B. And also, spaces are not given in this paper, so you need to ask for rough papers. Then in part A, first question is about percentage question, and the question number 2 is about graph question. You have to ask for a rough paper. And the third question is about area. And fourth one, trigonometry. So you have to refer tables. And fifth one, it's about simultaneous equations. And sixth one, statistics question. Then part B, first question, seventh question is about progression. Eighth question, construction. There you have to use the pair of compasses and the ruler. Then question number 9 and 10, 9 and 11, both are proof questions. And 10th one, volumes, and there you have to use logarithmic tables to find out the solutions. And question number 12 is about sets, and there you have to fill in the tables and Venn diagrams in that question. So altogether 12 questions, and make sure that you spend roughly 18 minutes per question, and each question worth 10 marks in this paper. So let's do this paper now. Let's do paper 2. In paper 2, you have given an equation for the volume of sphere. It's 4/3 pi r cube. So you don't have to memorize those. So let's do question number 1. Bank A pay an annual compound interest rate of 10% for fixed deposit. The interest is added to the principal amount annually. And a share of finance company B can be purchased for 40 rupees. Annual dividends of 2.5 is paid per share. Someone deposits 200,000 rupees in a bank A. So this is bank A for 2 years in the above manner. He withdraws the interest and the principal amount at the end of the 2 years. Kamal purchases shares in company B by investing 200,000 rupees. This is about Kamal. No, this is about Saman and this is about Kamal. And it says after receiving annual dividends at the end of the first year and at the end of the second year, he sells all his shares at 45 rupees per share. Show with reasons that the amount that Kamal has with him when the annual dividends of the 2 years and the amount he received by selling the shares are added together is 8,000 rupees more than amount Saman has. So we have to find out separately what's the amount that Saman has and what's the amount of Kamal has and take the difference. So let's start with Saman. So let's do, now the deposited amount is 200 rupees in a bank for 2 years. So what's the compound interest here? Given is 10% for fixed deposit. This is added to the principal amount annually, compound interest. So let's do the first one. The amount Saman gets after first year What's the amount? 200,000 and 10% added. Now you can do separately 10% value and add it to the initial value. What is the straightforward method? You can straight away do 200,000 rupees into 110 over 100. Why we are doing this? Because if you deposit 100 rupees, you get 110 rupees after 1 year. So when you multiply, this is the amount that someone receives after first year. So cross out the zeros and then multiply by 11. You get 22 here. And how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. 220,000 rupees. This is the amount after first year. To get the second year amount, this is the initial value. So you have to start with 220,000 and take 10% value. So now let's do for second year amount someone gets after second year. Do the same thing with the initial value 220,000 rupees with again 110 over 100. So 1, 2, 3, 3 zeros and 11 times 22. 2 remaining, 11 times 2, 22 plus 2, 23. So 232,000 rupees is the amount that someone receives after 2 years. Let's do the calculation for Kamal now. What's the amount there? So he deposited the same amount, 200,000 rupees. But what's the, it says purchased for 40 rupees and annual dividend is given, 250. So how can we do this one? So you have to find out how many shares he bought because the initial value is given and the market price of a share is given 40 rupees. How many shares he bought from this company? So first we'll calculate the amount of shares that Kamal received. Kamal's calculations will do. Kamal's calculation. So do it separately. Don't mix up the two. Number of shares that Kamal obtained. Now, initially 200,000 rupees deposited and what's the market price of a share? 40 rupees. So, divide by 40. So, you get 5,000 shares he bought. 5,000 shares. Now, we have number of shares and we can calculate the dividend amount that he obtained after the first year. So, what is the dividend price? Dividend price is 250 rupees. So, we can do amount received after 1 year as dividends. So 5,000 into 2.5. 0 is there. Okay, what is the easiest way to multiply? Instead of 2.5, if I write 5 over 2, it's really easy to simplify. So 5,000 into, I'll write this as a fraction, 5 over 2. So you get 2,500 here, multiplied by 5. 12,500 is the amount received as dividends. Then after 1 year, he is selling all his shares for 45 rupees per share. So what's the amount that Kamal receiving after selling all the shares? Amount that Kamal received after selling shares. So all 5,000 shares he is selling for, what's the amount? 45 rupees. So let's do 5,000 into 45. So 3 zeros and multiply by 5. 5 times 5, 25. 2 remaining. 5 times 4, 20 plus 2, 22. So what's the total amount that Kamal receives after 2 years? This is after 1 year. So dividend amount and this amount. But it says for 2 years. Read the question carefully. It says 2 years. So we have to calculate the dividends for 2 years. This is for 1 year. So what about 2 years? 2 years, again you have to multiply by 2. Dividends for 2 years. For 2 years, multiply this by 2. 12,500 multiply by 2, you get 0, 0. So 25,000 rupees. So what's the total amount that Kamal receives? Total amount. Kamal received after 2 years. Add these two. 225,000 rupees plus 25,000 rupees. So what's the total? 25 and here 250,000 rupees. So this is the total amount for this is we calculated before. What's the Saman's value here? This is 232,000 for Saman and here 250,000 for Kamal. So what is the difference? Difference amount is subtract these two, 250,000 and 232,000 rupees. So when you subtract, we'll take the difference. So 0, 0, 0. Here you get 8 and you get 1 here. But the answer should be 8,000. So we have done a small mistake here. So let's check what's the answer for the amount that Saman received. When you multiply by 11 here, what's the answer here? Not 232,000. It should be 242,000. So that's the mistake here 242,000. Now when you take the difference, you are getting 8,000 rupees. Because in the question it says, show that the difference between the amounts that Saman and Kamal has is 8,000. So when you find the mistake, so you can do only that part, and we now get 8,000. Here 242,000, when you subtract, you get 8,000 rupees. So what's the conclusion? Kamal received 8,000 rupees more than Saman. Kamal received 8,000 rupees more than Saman. So that's the whole question. Now, in some O-level papers, you get step by step. But now, this is all together. So you have to divide the question into parts. First you do for the first person and the second person, and then take the difference. So let's see the marking scheme and find out how many marks you are getting for each part. So the first part, for calculation for the Saman, you get 4 marks. So here 2 marks here, 2 marks here. You get 4 marks for this part, and then you get again 4 marks here for the calculation for Kamal. So you are getting 4 marks here, this one up to this point. So here for the total amount you are getting this part. This calculation separately 1 mark. Now 4 marks given for each, the whole part of this. So the calculation for dividends 1 mark. We'll give 2 marks for both years. And the calculation for this part, number of shares 1 mark. And here amount received after first year, 1 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you get 1 mark for this part, calculating the total amount, and considering the difference, again you are getting 1 mark here, showing that it's 8,000. So altogether you are getting 10 marks for the whole question. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's do question number 2. Question number 2 is the graph question. So you have to draw a graph. You can ask for a graph paper because you have to draw it to the scale. So let's do that. An incomplete table of y values corresponding to several x values of the function y equals 4 plus 2x minus x squared. Power 2 is there. So it's a quadratic graph. It's a parabola shaped curve. So you are asked to find out the missing values and then draw the graph. Let's do the first calculation. Find the value of y when x equals 2. So we know the equation y equals 4 plus 2x minus x squared. Substitute x equals 2. 4 plus 2 times 2 minus 2 squared. According to Bodmer's, 2 times 2, 4, and minus 4 get cancelled out. The answer is 4. First do multiplication. So here the value is 4. Now you have to draw the graph. Using the standard system of axes and a suitable scale, draw the graph of the given quadratic function on a graph paper according to above table of values. Now the x values are given -2 to 4. So you have to first adjust the x scale. So we can start from here, -4, -2, -1, 0. So we can draw the y-axis first. Because when you are drawing the graph, make sure that you draw a big graph. Don't try to draw a small one, and you have to take a suitable scale for that. So when you are adjusting here, so you can take -2, -1 here. We can take 10 squares, 1 unit. Now you can start from the maximum y value. What's the maximum y value? Is 5 and minimum is 4. Minimum is -4. So again you can take the same scale. We'll take the same scale starting with the 5, 5, 4. 10 squares, 1 unit. 3, 2, 1. Then this should be the x-axis. Now you can label 1 to 4 here on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this side -1, -2. Then the y value is negative y value is -1, -2, -3 and -4. So this is the x and y axis. Now make sure you write down the scale along x-axis. So one small square is 1/10, because 10 squares is 1 unit, means one small square is 1/10, 0.1. So along x-axis also 0.1 scale, y also 0.1. Now we can mark the points. -2, -4. You can mark the points -1 and 1. 0, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 1, and 4, -4. 4, -4. Then how you connect smoothly? I can use the ruler only to connect the corner edges, not the whole graph, because these 2 points are a little bit far away. I can just use the ruler only for these 2 points, but the other part you have to connect smoothly. So let's try to connect smoothly from here onwards. Here, this should be something like this. Here, draw it properly. This is the maximum point, and here you have to smoothly connect the other part. So something like that. So this is the graph of this quadratic function, and normally you get how many marks for the first part? First part you get 1 mark finding the missing value, and always you get 3 marks for the graph. So 1 mark for the scale, 1 mark for marking the points correctly, and then 1 mark for connecting the graph smoothly. Let's refer this graph and answer the following questions. Using the graph, write the interval of values of x on which the function is decreasing in the interval y in between 1 to 4. So you have to first identify what are these boundaries, y 1 to 4. So what is y 1 to 4 means? So you have to draw the horizontal lines. Y equals 1 is this one. Y equals 4 is this line. So we'll mark it. This is y equals 4, y equals 1. So in between you have to find out. In between y 1 to 4, the decreasing function is decreasing. Which part is decreasing? Observe the graph. This is increasing. Here to here, this is increasing. This part, it's decreasing. So we need to identify here this part. This part. So what are the x values? So if this is this one, it's here, it's already there. This point is already be marked. That's 2. This one is 3. So the x value should be in between 2 to 3. So how you write down that? So we can write without equal sign, x is in between 2 to 3. Because here also it's not included. Y is not included, 1 and 4. So x is also not included with 2 and 3. So that's the decreasing part. Then express the function in the form of the square term. So how you convert that? So we know the vertex point. We can easily get it from the vertex point. 1, 5. 1, 5 is the vertex point. So how you write in the square term? In this form, we can write y equals, if x equals 1, you get x minus 1 squared, and 5 is there plus 5. But this is a maximum curve. You get a maximum value. Concave, we say concave down. So when it's concave down, it should be negative. Negative x squared. So this should be negative. So now rearrange this in this order. You get 5 minus a minus x. Now they are asking to write in this way. X minus 1 is same as 1 minus x squared here. When you are taking the square term, x minus 1 squared is x squared minus 2x plus 1. What is 1 minus x? 1 squared minus 2x plus x squared. You get the same term when you take x minus 1 or 1 minus x. So you can rewrite this as 1 minus x squared because they are asking to write a minus x form. So make sure that you read everything, a minus x squared. So this is the final answer. Then find the value of the positive root of the quadratic equation. Check whether this is the same equation. 4 plus 2x minus x squared. We can check it. 4 plus 2x minus x squared. Same graph equals 0 to the nearest first decimal place and thereby obtain a value for root 5. So how we are going to find out? This y value equals 0. So y value equals 0 means you have to refer the x-intercepts. What are the x-intercepts? We have to identify the intersecting point with the x-axis. So this and this. It's like 3.2 and minus 1.2. So first we'll write down the roots of the equation. So when 4 plus 2x minus x squared is 0, x should be either plus 3.2 or minus 1.2. Now they are just asking the positive root, root 5. So if you want to find out the positive root, we can take this equation, x minus 1 equation, or if you are taking 1 minus x, then you have to take the negative answer. So whatever the, equation, depends on the substitution, you get positive value and the negative value. Now, in this case, we'll check it with both values, but you need only the positive value of root 5. So, let's see where you get the positive value. If you are taking the equation y equals 5 minus 1 minus x squared, I'll take x minus 1 because when you take x minus 1 here, when this is 0, you need to substitute the positive value of x. So when you take it to this side, x minus 1 squared is equal to 5. Then when you take the square root, you get root 5 equals x minus 1. To get the positive one, you have to substitute positive. So positive 3.2, positive value is 3.2 minus 1 becomes the root 5 value. So what's the answer? 2.2 is approximately is the root 5 value. Not exactly, approximately 2.2. So let's see how many marks we can give. So we have already given 4 marks for the first 2 parts. So this part you are getting 2 marks. Two marks for this part, and writing in this form you are getting 2 marks. So 4 and 4, 8, and the last part you are getting 2 marks. So identifying the roots, the positive root only we need 1 mark, and substituting and getting the root 5 value 1 mark. So altogether you get 10 marks for this question as well. Let's do question number 3. It's about area. When a circular lamina R is cut out from a circular lamina of radius 2r plus 3, the area of the remaining portion of the lamina is 27 pi square centimeters. Show that R satisfies the quadratic equation r squared plus 4r minus 6 equals 0, and by solving it, find the value of r to the nearest first decimal place. Take the value of root 10 to be 3.16. Then by considering the value of pi to be 3.1, find the circumference of the smallest lamina. So let's do this one. So here, according to this one, the bigger one is 2r plus 3 and the smaller radius is r. So you have to identify this is r and this part is 2r plus 3. What is the shaded area? So area of the full circle minus the area of the small circle. So first we'll find out the shaded area. So let's see. Yeah, we can do it here. Area, shaded area. Shaded area is, what's the area of the circle? Pi r squared. Pi. Now the radius is not r. 2r plus 3 is the radius square. Now make sure that you put brackets when you write an expression. Make sure that you put brackets. Pi r squared minus area of the small square, pi r squared. Now you have to take, you can take pi out and expand brackets. Now what is 2r plus 3 squared? What's the easiest way to do? You don't have to write again and again twice and multiply. First term squared, that is 4r squared, 2r squared. And then your middle term is double of these two terms. 3 times 2, 6, 6 times 2, 12, 12r. And the last term is, last term squared, 3 squared is 9, minus r squared. Now what you get? Pi 4r squared minus r squared is 3r squared, and 12r plus 9 is equal to what? It's given. Shaded area is 27 pi. Now what can we do here? We can cross out the pi term. You can divide both sides by pi. It get cancelled out. And when you take 27 to the other side, you get 3r squared plus 12r. 9 minus 27. What is 9 minus 27? So you get 18 here. So 9 minus 27 minus 18 is equal to 0. Now divide the whole equation by 3. R squared. 12 divided by 3 is 4r. 18 divided by 3, that's 6 equals 0. So we got r squared plus 4r minus 6 as the answer. So that's what you have to show. That's the first part. Then it says, solving it, find the value of r to the nearest first decimal place. So how you solve a quadratic equation? You can use completing square method, you can factorize, you can use quadratic formula. Now, in this case, you can't factorize. There are no factors for minus 6 to get plus 4. So, what are the two other methods? Solving equations using quadratic formula or completing square method. I'll use completing square method here. So, how you do that? You have to make a square term. So, divide the r term by 2. 4 divide by 2 and square it. You get 4. So, you add that amount. In order to get no difference, you have to subtract the same amount. Then for the first part, you can write the square term. Square root of r squared is r. Square root of 4 is 2. Middle term is plus. So, you get r plus 2 squared. Minus 6 and minus 4, it's minus 10. When you take it to the other side, it's plus 10. Now take square root both sides. R plus 2 is plus or minus square root of 10. Now the square root of 10 value is given to be 3.16. So we can write 3.16 is equal to r plus 2. So what is r? You take minus 2 to the other side and do the calculation. Now r is the radius. Can you get a negative answer? You can't get a negative answer. It's a length. So you have to take the plus value here. When you take minus and minus, you get a minus value for r. So r is a length. You have to consider only the plus value. So what's the answer? 3.16 minus 2, 1.16. But the answer should be given in, it says, correct one, first decimal place only. So first decimal place, you can write 1.2. You have to round up because the next digit is more than 5. So 1.2, is this in centimeters or something else? Centimeters, because the area is given square centimeters. So that's the radius value. Now they are asking, what's the circumference? By considering the value of pi to be 3.1, find the circumference of the smaller lamina. Smaller one. So now radius we found 1.2. You can use that for this calculation. What is the circumference? What's the equation? 2 pi r. 2 pi r take 3.1 as pi and radius as 1.2. Find the circumference. So multiply everything without any decimals first. 2 times 12 is 24. 31 multiplied by 24. 20 and 4. You get 744. Now keep 2 decimal places here. So 7.44, and circumference also, do we have to give it to 1 decimal place, or it's not mentioned? We'll round it to 1 decimal place because we already rounded the R value to 1 decimal place. So the circumference is 7.4 centimeters. Now let's see how many marks for each part. You are getting 4 marks up to this point, showing the equation. So 4 marks here, showing the equation. Then you get solving part. How many marks? Solving part also 4 marks. So you get 4 marks here. You can use using quadratic formula or completing square method. Then you get circumference 2 marks. Either you can keep the answer correct to 2 decimal places or 1 decimal place. So that's 2 marks. So already we have given 10 marks for the whole question. Let's do question number 4. It's about trigonometry. Chamara and Amal are standing on a level ground on opposite sides of a vertical tree. So this is the vertical tree KT. As shown in the figure, Amal is 30 meters away from the tree. Here we can mark that information. Amal is 30 meters. So this is 30 meters away from the tree. Chamara is flying a kite. The kite suddenly gets entangled at the top of the tree such that the string is taut. The string is 40 meters long. So this should be the string. So 40 meters long. At that moment, Chamara sees the kite with an angle of elevation of 44 degrees and 50 minutes. Disregard the heights of Chamara and Amal. So, what is the angle given here? Angle of elevation is Chamara sees. Here, Chamara sees the kite with an angle of elevation. This angle is given 44 degrees and 50 minutes. Copy the given figure onto your answer script and include the above information in it. So, you have to mark 40. This angle, and the other important thing is you have to mark this is perpendicular. Why? This is CA means the ground level, and tree, we normally take the tree as perpendicular. So this is 90. So when you are marking all of these information, you are getting 3 marks. So make sure that you mark 90-degree angle as well to get these 3 marks. Then use trigonometric ratios in the following computations. Find the height KT of the tree. Look at this right angle triangle KCT. When you take the right angle KCT to this angle, what is given? Which one is given? this angle is given and the hypotenuse is given. So we need opposite. Opposite tan hypotenuse, what's the appropriate trigonometric ratio when you use SOHCAHTOA? Sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So we have to use sine ratio. Sine of 44 and 50 minutes is equal to, opposite is KT and the hypotenuse is 40. So when you multiply sine value by 40, you get the height of the tree. So you have to refer the sine table, 44, 50. So let's refer the sine table. So make sure that you look at the appropriate table, sine table, 44, 50. 44, it's the last value of the first table, 44 and 50 minutes, 50 minutes. So it's 0.7050. 0.7050 multiplied by 40. Put 0 and multiply by 4. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 7, 28. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to keep the decimal point here. So this is in meters. 28.2 meters is the height of the tree. For this part, how many marks you are getting? You are getting 3 marks for that. Writing down the appropriate ratio, multiplying and referring the table, and for the answer, 3 marks. Then let's take the next one. What is the angle of elevation which Amal sees the kite at this moment? Amal sees the kite. Okay, so what they're asking, which? So we'll refer the diagram here. So he sees from here, this is the kite. Then this angle they're asking. So how we are going to find out? Now we know the height of the tree from the first part. Now we know this. We need this angle. Opposite and adjacent are known. So what is the appropriate trig ratio that you have to use? Opposite over adjacent, tan ratio. So you have to say tan theta equals KT over 30. So we'll write down tan theta is equal to KT over 30. So KT becomes, KT we found 28.2. 28.2. Now substitute tan theta equals 28.2 divided by 30. Do long division and find out what's the value. I'll do it somewhere here. 28.2 divided by 30. So here 0. 30 times 9. 207 here, 270 here. Subtract, so you get 12. So 120, that's 4. 0.94. 0.94. But we know in tables we get 4 decimal places. So we'll put 2 more zeros. So to get the theta value, you have to find the tan inverse value. Tan inverse of 0.9400. So we have to refer the tangent table. Now this is tan inverse, where you get 0.94. Refer the table where you get 0.94. So when you look at the table, which one is the closest? 9380. 9380 is there. So we have to take that. 4310. And how many more we need? 9400. But it's 9380. We need 20 more. We need 20 more. We can take 17. That's 3. So 10 plus 3, 13. So we can write 43 and 13. 43 and 13. 43 degrees and 13 minutes. So they have not given to round, so you can keep the answer like this. So let's see how many marks you are getting. 3 marks for this. Here you can take the high side as well. Now you need 20. So here when we refer the table, 22 is also there. 17 is a little bit lower side. So 22 also possible. So if you write 14 also, you get marks. So I'll write both the answers, either this or 43, 14. So you get 3 marks for that. Now we'll see what's the last part. With reason, state which of the two, Chamara or Amal, is standing closer to the tree. Closer to the tree. 43, 14, and what is the previous one? Here we'll take this diagram. Now we found this is 44, 50. This is 43, 14. So how you find out to the tree which person is closer? Now we can argue like this. Now we know this angle. So this is, which one is bigger? This angle is bigger than this 44, 50 is bigger than 43, 40. If this is bigger, this angle is, both are calculating 90 minus that, because this is a right angle triangle. This angle is smaller than this. This side angle is bigger than this, means this angle is smaller than this one. When the angle is getting smaller, the distance to the tree is smaller. So that means who is the closest person to the tree? See, that's Chamara. So Chamara is the closest person. So you can write using this angle, this is bigger than this. But first we'll write down that 44, 50 is bigger than 44 degrees and 50 minutes is bigger than 43 degrees and 14 minutes. Then you can argue, if this is bigger, CKT angle is smaller than TKA. So this side is smaller. Smaller means getting closer to the tree. So we can say Chamara is standing closer to the tree. So how many marks for that part? So you are getting 1 mark only. So how many marks altogether? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. 8, 9, 10. So altogether we have given 10 marks for this question. Let's do question number 5. It's about simultaneous equations. You have to construct 2 equations and then solve. It is required to buy cricket bats and balls for sports practices in the schools A and B. It cost 6,160 rupees to buy 3 cricket bats and 8 balls for school A. It cost 4,000 rupees to buy 2 cricket bats and 5 balls for school B. By taking the price of a cricket bat is X rupees and the price of ball as Y rupees, construct a pair of simultaneous equations and by solving them, find separately the price of a cricket bat and the price of a cricket ball. So here this is the important part. You need to take what is X and what is Y. The price of a bat is X, the price of a ball is Y. Now again you have to read the first part and write down the 2 equations. It costs 6,160 rupees to buy 3 cricket bats. 3 into X, 3X. And 8 balls, 8Y. So that's your first equation. Then what's the second one? It cost 4,000 rupees to buy 2 cricket bats, that's 2X, and 5 cricket balls, 5Y. So that's your second equation. So when you construct 2 equations, normally you get 2 marks. So let's see how many marks you are getting for this. 2 marks for creating the 2 equations. Then you have to solve these 2 equations. So let's look at the coefficients. In X also these are not equal. In Y also the coefficients are not equal. How you can make the coefficients equal? What's the easiest one? If you take the X coefficients, you have to first multiply the first one by 2 and the second one by 3 to make 6x. 6 as the coefficient. So let's do that. Take the first equation multiplied by 2. You have to multiply all the terms. 0, 2 times 6, 12, 1 remaining, 2 times 1, 2 plus 1, 3, 2 times 6, 12. Then 6x plus 2 times 8, 16y. That's your third equation. Multiply the second equation by 3. 12,000 is equal to 6x plus 3 times 5, 15y. Now, what you have to do? Do we have to subtract or add? Same coefficient, same sign. You have to subtract the 2 equations. Which one is easier? 3 minus 4 or 4 minus 3? This one is bigger, so we'll take 3 minus 4. Otherwise, you are getting a negative answer. 3 minus 4 is 320 is equal to 1y. And we know the price of a ball. This is ball. Then what is the price of a bat? You can substitute this value in the first equation. 6,160 is 3x plus 8y. 8 times 0, 0. 8 times 2, 16. 1 remaining. 8 times 3, 24 plus 1, 25. Now take this one to the other side. 3x becomes 6,160 minus 2,560. 0, you get 6. 3,600, and when you divide by 3, you get x. 3,600 divided by 3, you get 1,200. So that means price of a bat is 1,200 rupees and price of a ball that's 320 rupees. So that's how we can solve the two equations. So let's see how many marks you are getting now. So when you take the two equations, so you get 3 marks to find out up to y value here. Then solving for x, you get 2 marks up to here, and finally you need to write down separately the price of the bat and the ball. It's 1 mark. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 marks here. Then there's another part you are getting, so that's 2 marks. Find the number of cricket bats and the number of balls that can be bought for exactly 9,200 rupees such that the number of balls is twice the number of cricket bats. So that's not related to the previous part, but we can take number of balls is twice the number of cricket bats. If x is number of bats, what is number of cricket balls is twice. So 2x becomes the number of balls. Now you can create an equation. The price should be 9,200. But we know the price of a bat. You have to take that value, price of a bat and price of the ball. We found 1,200 is the price of a bat and there are x number of bats, plus 320 is the price of a ball and there are 2x number of balls. The total should be 9,200. So you can create an equation and try to solve. So you get 1,200x, multiply these two, you get 640x is equal to 9,200. Add these two like terms you can add. This is 0, 4, 8, 1. X is equal to 9,200. When you divide by 1,840, you get the x value. Is it 5? 5 times 4, 20. 2. 5 times 2, 5 times 8, 40, 42. 4 remaining. 5 times 1, 5 plus 4, 9. So that's exactly 5. So that means x equals 5. So they have to write down, find the number of cricket bats and number of balls. So x is 5 means number of cricket bats is 5 and number of balls should be twice of this. 2 times 5, that's 10. So for this part, you are getting only 2 marks. So this part you are getting 2 marks. So we have given 10 marks for that question. Question number 6. It's about statistics. A frequency distribution giving the number of trips that Nimal made in his car during 2 weeks together with the distances is shown below. So intervals are there. What are these intervals? It is class boundaries or class limits. There's no gap in between. So these are class boundaries. Here the interval 3 to 5 represent greater than or equal to 3 and less than 5. So the upper value is not equal but lower value is equal. Find the mean distance he traveled on a trip during these 2 weeks. So you're asked to find the mean. So first you create a table and write down the distances first. Distance in kilometers, 1 to 3, 3 to 4, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 9 to 11, to 13, 13 to 15, and we'll calculate the total here. Then what is the next thing you need to find? The mid values. So we need the mid values, frequency and the fx. So we need another column here. So we'll try to do it here. I'll divide this into 2 and write down. Okay, so here mid values. How you find out the mid value? That's x. Add the two boundaries or limits and divide by 2. 1 plus 3, 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So you can see a pattern. Adding 2. 7 plus 5 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So adding 2. You can easily write down 10, 12, 14 like that. Then the frequencies 6, 10, 20, 8, 4, 0, 2. Now these are not bigger values. Straight away you can find fx and find the mean. You don't need to use the deviation method here because the values are easy to multiply. So you multiply f and x. 6 times 2, 12. 4 times 10, 40. 6 times 20, 120. 8 times 8, 64. 10 times 4, 40. 12 times 0, 0. 14 times 2, 28. Now what's the total? Add all fx values. 4, 6, 14, 1 remaining. 3, 7, 7, 13, 15. 15 plus 5, 20. 2 remaining. So this is 3. 304. So what is the equation to find out the mean? Total of fx values. So mean is equal to, we write x bar. So what's the equation? We can write either sigma fx over sigma f. That means total fx values over total frequencies. So total fx is 304. What's the total frequencies? Is it given in the first line? It's not given. So we have to add it and see. So here 16, 20, 40, 48, 50. So the total frequency is 50. So we can divide by 50. So what you get? For 300 it's 6, 300, then 4 remaining. For 40 it's nothing. For 400 it's 8. So 6.08, and this is about distance. So this is in kilometers. So this is the mean distance he traveled on a trip during these 2 weeks. So how many marks you are getting? For this part, you are getting here 1 mark for calculating the mid values and 1 mark for calculating the fx values and 1 mark for the total fx, and using the formula 1 mark And for the final answer, 1 mark. So altogether for this part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks given. So let's take the next one. For a certain reason, Nimal expects to make 120 such trips during the next month. For that month, he is entitled to exactly 80 liters of fuel. To be able to make the 120 trips in his car on average, what is the distance his car should be able to run on a liter of fuel? Now, mean value we found, that's 6.08 kilometers. And for a month, this is for 2 weeks. For a month, you have to multiply this by 2. This is per trip. Here, let's see. Distance and number of trips per trip. Per trip, you need the distance is 6.08 kilometers. There are 120 such trips. So, what's the total distance travel? Total distance is 120 into 6.08 kilometers. That's the total distance. You can take this one as 6, but we'll take this number. So what's the number? When you multiply, we'll do long multiplication here. 608 multiplied by 120. 120 multiplied by 2. And then add it. So how many decimal places? 2. 729.6 kilometers is the total distance. Now it says 80 liters of fuel he gets. If this is 80 liters, what's the speed? Speed is the distance his car should be traveled on 1 liter of fuel. So that should be the speed. So 80 liters are there. So you divide by 80 and see what should be the kilometers he can run for 1 liter. So divide by, we can divide by 80. Distance travel in 1 liter is 729.6 divided by 80. What's the value? 8 times 9, 720. So we'll do that. 9, 720. So you get 9, 6. That means 1. That's 2. So 9.12 kilometers he needs to travel within 1 liter. So how many marks for that part? You get 3 marks for that. Then the last part. Nimal decides to cycle instead of using his for trips that are less than 5 kilometers. By considering that all his trips are as in the above table and that the car travels 9 kilometers per liter on average, if a liter of fuel is 400 rupees, show that Nimal can save at least 1,600 rupees. So this is less than 5 kilometers. So when this is 1 to 3 and 3 to 5, this part, he doesn't need petrol, so he can save money. 6. So we have to take at least 1600 means minimum is 1600. So that means you have to take the minimum distance traveling. So here 1 with 6 and 3 with 10. So first we can find out the total distance traveled. So total distance is 1 into 6 and 3 into 10. When you take the first two intervals. So 6 plus 30, 36 kilometers. So he can save the fuel for 36 kilometers. So what is the, it says car travel 9 kilometers per liter. So if it's 9 kilometers per liter, how many liters he need? Amount of fuel. You have to divide by 9. So you get 4 liters. He can save. 1 liter is 400 rupees. So the saving amount (400 into 4). So he can save minimum amount is 1600. That's why it says at least 1600 rupees. Minimum he can save 1600 rupees. So how many marks for this part? You are getting 2 marks for this part, and here we gave 3 marks. So 5 here and then 5 for the first part. Altogether 10 marks for this question as well. Now part B. Now in part B also you get 6 questions, but you have to answer only 5 questions. So question number 7 is about sequences. For a school sports activity, the students have been placed such that the first row consists of 7 students. So first row consists of 7 students. So I can write first term is 7. Every other row consists of 3 students more than the row before it. So it's increasing by 3. Adding 3, 7 plus 3, 10. Like that. So the common difference is 3. Then the number of students in each row taken in order forms an arithmetic progression because there's a common difference. Write the first, second, third terms of the progression respectively. So again, add 3, you get 13. So these are the 3 terms of this arithmetic progression. So how many marks for that? 2 marks. Show that the nth term of this progression Tn is given by this. So we know the first term is 7. Common difference is 3. So what's the equation? You can write Tn equals first term plus n minus 1d. You can plug the values here. First term is 7 and the common difference is 3. Multiply this by 3. 7 plus 3n minus 3. You get 3n plus 4 is the nth term. In which row are there 40 students? So the nth term is 40 now. So you can equate Tn as 40. 40 equals 3n plus 4. Solve for n. Take 4 to this side. 40 minus 4 is 3n. Then that becomes 36. Divide both sides by 3 to get n. You get 12 is as n. So 12th row there are 40 students. So how many marks for these two parts? We can give here 2 marks for writing down the nth term, and n equals 12, 2 marks. And we'll see the next part, fourth part. If only 700 students have been selected for this sports activity, show with reasons whether the first 20 rows can be filled when the students are placed in the above manner. Total number of students. So, do you need to use the nth term formula or the sum formula? This is about total. Total means you have to use the sum formula. So, we need to check for 20 rows. S20. So, S20. What's the equation? This is about arithmetic progression. So, n over 2. So, we'll write down the formula first. N over 2. We know the first term and the common difference. We'll use this formula, 2a plus n minus 1d. Now plug the values. 20 is n. 2 times the first term. 7 is the first term plus n minus 1d. d equals 3. So what's the value? 10 here. Now we'll simplify inside. So here we forgot to substitute 20 for n. 20 minus 1. Here n is 20. 19. So 7 times 2 is 14. 19 times 3. 19 times 3. 57. Now add it. 10 times. Add these two. 71. So 710 is the total number of students needed for 20 rows. But they are asking, if there are 700 students, can we have 20 rows? So we can't fill because we need another 10 more students. So we can say as 710 is bigger than 700, cannot filled. Cannot fill 20 rows. This is here rows. So that's the final answer. So how many marks for that? You will get 3 marks for finding the sum of 20 terms and 1 mark for giving reason that we can't fill 20 rows. So altogether we have given 10 marks, 4 and then 4, 8 and these two, 10 marks for the whole question. Question number 8, it's about construction question. You can use the ruler and the pair of compasses. So let's do this question now. Use only a straight edge with centimeter-millimeter scale and a pair of compasses for the following geometric constructions. The construction lines should be drawn clearly. So use a sharpened pencil for this. Construct a circle of radius 5 centimeters and name its center as C. So we'll take the ruler and the compass. Now we need to measure how many centimeters? 5 centimeters. So we'll measure 5 centimeter length here and draw a circle. So let's do it here. We can draw a circle and then label the center as C. So this is C. The radius is 5 centimeters. Construct a chord AB of length 7.5 centimeters. Now again, take the ruler and the compass. Now this time we have to measure 7.5 centimeter length. Here we have to measure it properly. .5 centimeter, and you can take any place. First select any place and first draw an arc. Then again take the same thing. Here we can keep it here, and then you find out where the other place is, you draw the arc. So that means these 2 points are A and B. So A, B. This is the chord. So you can draw the chord A, B. So we'll draw the straight line here to here. Then what's the next step? Construct the perpendicular bisector of AB and name the point at which it intersects the major arc of the circle as P. Perpendicular bisector. How you construct a perpendicular bisector? You need the compass for that. So you take point A, take any distance, but it should be more than half the size of AB. Half the size of AB. Take any length and you can draw an arc above and below. Do the same thing for the other point. You can keep it on B and then construct the other 2 arcs. When you connect the intersecting points of the arcs is the perpendicular bisector. So we can connect this one and this one. And it says it intersects the major arc. What is major arc means? The bigger part. Now this is the chord. Chord divides into 2 parts. So the bigger part arc is the major arc at the circle as P. So you have to extend this line. Extend this line till you get the circle here. That's P. That's the third part. Fourth part, draw the line PA and construct the interior bisector of PAB. We'll first draw the line PA and construct the interior bisector of PAB. Angle bisector of PAB. So how we construct angle bisector? You can take the angle what we need to bisect. This is A. Take certain distance. You can draw an arc here and arc here. And then you can take the same length or you can change the length to a bigger one. I'll take a bigger length. And when you draw the arcs from here and here, we get the point, intersecting point of the 2 arcs. We need to connect that point and A, that's the angle bisector. So we have drawn the angle bisector PAB. So that means this angle is equal to this angle. Construct a tangent to the circle at P and name the point at which it meets the angle bisector drawn in part 4 above as K, give reasons why PK and AB are parallel. We have to draw a tangent line to P. How we draw a tangent line? So we have to first extend this line further. So let's extend this line from here. Then you take the compass. You have to draw the perpendicular line. For that, you keep on the compass on P. Take a certain distance. Yes, certain distance. You draw an arc, and to the other side also you draw an arc. Yeah. Then you take any distance from here. Any distance from here, keep it on this point and draw the arc above and below as well, because you need to draw the tangent. So we can mark the arcs here. Then do the same thing for the other point. So we are drawing the perpendicular bisector to this line. Why? Why we are doing that? The tangent and the line joining the center, that means the diameter, whatever this line passes through the center, it's called diameter, should be perpendicular to the tangent. So we have two arcs, and now when we connect the two arcs, you get the tangent line. So when you connect these 2 points, here and here, you get the tangent line. These two. So that's the tangent line drawn at P. And it says, which it meets the angle bisector drawn in part 4. So you have to extend the line. So keep the ruler and extend. So when you are extending, make sure that you draw it extending this one here. I'll take it to this side, this one, and extend this line. The angle bisector is here. These are the 2 lines, and intersecting point is K. This is K. So the new point, the intersecting point of the angle bisector and the tangent line. So tangent line we drew, this is 90 degrees. That means at K. Give reasons why PK and AB are parallel. Why these two are parallel. So let's see how we can show that's parallel. What is this line? This line is the perpendicular bisector of AB. So this is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees. Now when you look at here, this angle and this angle adds up to 180, 90 and 90. So what it means? This angle is same as this angle. Alternate angles are equal. So we can say A, we'll put a letter M or something. AMP angle is same as MPK angle, that's 90 degrees. Alternate angles are equal. If the 2 alternate angles are equal, the 2 lines are parallel. So therefore, you can say AB is parallel to PK. So you can give the reason. Now let's see how many marks for each part. So you are getting 1 mark for constructing the circle. Then 1 mark for the chord AB. And third part, draw the PA line and construct the interior bisector of PAB. No, this is perpendicular bisector. You get 2 marks. And the point, marking point is 1 mark. Then fourth one, you are getting 2 marks for drawing the line and drawing the angle bisector. And fourth part, you are getting 2 marks. Fifth part, you are getting 3 marks. 1 mark for giving reasons why the 2 lines are parallel. 1 mark is for tangent line. And 1 mark for marking the K point. So altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 marks for the construction question. Let's do question number 9. It's about proofs question. So in the cyclic quadrilateral ABCD, we'll do that here. In the cyclic quadrilateral ABCD, in the given figure, AB is equal to BC. We'll mark it AB is equal to BC. And CD, this length is equal to DA, this length. Take DCA, this angle as X. Copy the given figure onto your answer script and include the above information in it. So, to give the information here, you are getting 1 mark. You are getting 1 mark for the question number 9. You are getting 1 mark for giving information. Then the other one, if the tangent drawn to the circle at D, is DT, show that AC and DT are parallel. So that's the first proof. How can we show these 2 lines are parallel? Now when you look at the ABC triangle, we got AB equals BC, so we know that these 2 angles are equal because this triangle is an isosceles triangle. So we can say BAC angle is equal to BCA angle. That's a isosceles triangle. Then what can we say about the other angle? This is also isosceles. ADC also isosceles. So we need to find out this one is parallel. Now let's see. If this is a tangent, this is 90 degrees. So we'll mark that also. All information you need to mark here. What else we know? If this is X, this is also X. Why? It's also an isosceles triangle. So we'll write that also and keep it. Now what are the other things that we can get? This is also X. Can you see? ACD angle and ABD angle also equal. Same segment angles are there. then AC is parallel to DT. That means we have to show that this is 90 degrees. How can we show that it's 90 degrees? This angle 90 degrees, then the alternate angles are the same. Or we can do this. Can you see? AD is a chord and this is a tangent line. According to alternate segment theorem, this angle is equal to this. So that's also possible. Let's see, we'll mark all the angles here. This angle is x because the angle between the tangent line and the chord is equal to the opposite interior angle. So alternate segment theorem. Now here again we can mark. Now according to alternate segment theorem, this angle, now when you take the chord CD, the angle between the chord CD and DT is this angle. That's equal to the opposite interior angle. That's also x. Then these two are alternate angles. Alternate angles are equal. So that's what we can show that to get AC and DT are parallel. So let's see. So we wrote this one is A, and we can say DAC angle is same as ACD angle, that's x because of isosceles triangle. Then you can write CAD is equal to CDT, alternate segment theorem. Then we know ACT, from these two, we can say ACD angle is equal to CDT. So that's alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. So therefore, what are the two lines? AC and DT parallel. So that one, how many marks you are getting? You are getting 5 marks for that part. Show that ABC is bisected by BD. ABC is bisected by BD means you have to show that these two angles are equal. So we'll mark what we have marked before. This is x and these two lengths are the same, and this is x and this is x, and this is 90 degrees. So how you show that these two angles are equal? These two angles. So is there a way? Here we can you see? Same segment angles are equal. You can use that. ABD is same as ACD. Same segment angles. That's equal to x. I can put this is x. Then the other one is also this way. Same segment angles are equal. DAC angle is equal to this one, and DBC is also same segment angles. Now we can see this is also X. That's also X. Now we can see ABD angle is same as DBC angle. Both are equal. So that means ABC angle is bisected by BD line. So we can say ABC angle is bisected by BD. So how many marks for that part? You are getting 3 marks. Then part 3, show that BD is a diameter of the given circle. BD is a diameter. So you have to show that any semicircle angle is 90 degrees. So let's write down what you know, and this is X and this is X we found. This is A, and we found this is X, and this is 90 degrees. These two lengths are equal, and this is X and X. How we show that BD is the diameter. If BD is a diameter, we have to show that this is a semicircular angle. That should be 90. So we have to show that A plus X is 90. So we can take this triangle. Take ABC triangle. In that we get XX. 2x plus 2a, the sum of angles in a triangle is 180. When you divide the whole thing by 2, x plus a equals 90 degrees. So x plus a is this angle. That's equal to 90 degrees. So BCD angle means a plus x. That means 90 degrees. Semicircle angle is 90 degrees. So if semicircle angle is 90 degrees, BD should be the diameter. BD is the diameter. So how many marks? For this part, we can give 2 marks. Let's do question number 10. The cross-sectional area of a container with water in the shape of a right prism with a uniform triangular cross-section is 42 square centimeters. It's like a prism. So let's try to draw. Base is a triangle, and this is like something like a prism like this. This is a prism, and the cross-section area here is given 42 square centimeters. When 7 spheres of radius a centimeter each, 7 of the spheres, radius a, each are submerged in the water in the container. Submerged in the container, the water level rises by h centimeter without water spilling over. Show that the radius a of a sphere is given by a cube is equal to 9h over 2 pi. So what it means, when you immerse 7 spheres into this, the water level rises by h unit. So that means the amount of water rises, the volume of water rises should be equal to the volume of these 7 spheres. So that's what we can do. We can equate the volume of 7 spheres. What is volume of 7 spheres? One volume is 4/3 pi r cube. Now it's given in the front page of paper 2. So we can take 4/3 pi, a is the radius, a cube into 7. This is the volume of 7 spheres. That should be equal to the amount of water rises. So if the cross-sectional area is 42 square centimeters and h units rises, what's the volume? It's like a prism. Cross-sectional area into height is the volume. So water volume rises. Water volume rises is equal to cross-sectional area is 42 and the height is given h centimeters up. Then we can just make a cube as the subject and find the answer. So what is a cube according to this one? A cube is equal to 42h. You have to multiply it by 3 and divide by 4 pi into 7. 4 times, we'll do separately, 4 times 7 times pi. So when you simplify, 7 times 6 here, so 6 and then 2 times 3, 2 times 2. 3 times 3, 9. You get 9h over 2 times pi, 2 pi. So that's the answer we need. A cube is 9h over 2 pi. So how many marks you can get it for that part? You can get 3 marks for that. Equating the 2 volumes and find out a cube. That's 3 marks. Then by taking the value of h as square root 31.17 and the value of pi as 3.14, find the value of a cube to the nearest whole number using the logarithms tables and thereby obtain the value of a. So let's do the calculation. What's the equation? A cube is 9h over 2 pi. 9. H value we have to take square root of 31.17. Pi as 3.14. Now, to use the log tables, we have to take log both sides. Log of a cube is equal to log of this. Now, how can we apply at once? These two are in the numerator, multiplication, and this is division. In logarithms, multiplication becomes addition, division becomes subtraction. So, I can write log 9 plus log of square root 31 over 31.17 and these two minuses because it's in the denominator. Log 2 minus log 3.14. Now, we can find out these values, but for this I can write. Now, square root is power half. Any power you can take it down. So, half into log of 31.17. I can write instead of this. Other ones you can write as it is. Now, you have to refer the log tables. But before that, we can write down the mantissa. How can we write down the mantissa? We write in scientific notation and the power comes as the mantissa. So, 9 into 10 to the power 0. So, 0 point something here. What about this one? 31. When you write in scientific notation, 3.1. So, 10 to the power 1. So, you get 1 point something. Log 2 is 10 to the power 0. 0.2. And this is also 10 to the power 0, 0 point something. Now we have to refer the table and get these log values. 9. So how you refer the table? Log tables. So we have to take 9 means 90. 90 is 95, 42. Then 31, 17. 31, 17. 31, 1. Yeah, this one. 31, 1. This value. 7. When you refer this one, 7 is here. 49, 28 and add 10. 49, 38. $20 or the other one. $20. 30, 10. And the other one is 31, 4. 31, 4. 31, 4 is 49, 69. Now we have to do the calculation. First we'll divide this by 2. 0.7, 2 times 4, 8, 2 times 6, 12 and 9. So we need to add these two and we need to add these two and subtract. So let's do step by step. We'll add it 0.9542, 0.7469. When you add it, you get 5 and 5, 10, 17, 1.7011. And then, what's the addition of these two? 301. It's easy. When you take minus out, that's addition. So you add these two and then subtract the total. 4969. 97. So you have to subtract now this amount. 0.7979. So subtract again. Here you get 1. 1 you are getting. So that means 8. That's wrong. So here this, I made a mistake here. What's the subtraction again? 11 minus 9 is 2. So this is 10 minus 7 is 3. This is 9 minus 9 is 0. 16 minus 7 is 9. 9032. So now you are getting log a cube is equal to 0.9032. Now how you find out the a cube value? That's antilog value of this. Antilog value of 0.9032. Now we'll refer the log tables again and see where you get 9032. 9032. 9031 is there. 80, 0. So we need one more. 8001. 8001. 8001. Now, how many decimal places we keep? This is manticized 0. That means in standard form, it's 10 to the power 0. So, it's 8.001. So, a cube is this. So, what is the cube root value? Now, we can take this one as 8. 8.001, we can round it to 8 because it's easy to find out the a. Cube root of 8. So, 8 you can write 2 to the power 3. So, same powers are there, so you can equate the bases. So, a should be 2 in this case. So, let's see how you get marks for this part. Find the value using logarithms. So, we'll look at the values 9542. So, all the calculations are correct. 9032. So, 5 marks up to this point. Up to this point, you get 5 marks. Then, to find out the antilog value and get the answer, 2 marks. A equals 2 marks. So, 5 plus 2, 7. And this 3, you get 10 marks. Let's do question number 11. That's also proving question. So, you're asked to copy the given figure. Okay, we'll first read and try to understand the shape. ABCD shown in the figure is a parallelogram. So, ABCD is this. It's a parallelogram and E is the midpoint, is a point on CD as shown in the figure. Moreover, the straight line CD has been produced to F such that DF is equal to CE and AD produced, and the straight line through F drawn parallel to AD meet BE produced at G and H respectively. You are asked to copy the given figure onto your answer script and show that the triangles ADF and BCE are congruent, and give reasons why ABEF and AGHF are parallel and why their areas are equal. So, let's try to mark everything here. DF is equal to ADF is equal to CE. These two lengths are equal. And then it says it's a parallelogram. Which one is a parallelogram? ABCD. ABCD is a parallelogram, means this line is parallel to this line is parallel to this, and these are equal and parallel. First step is to show that ADF triangle and BCE triangle both are congruent. So, let's try to prove that ADF, this triangle. So, we know certain things. So, FD, we know from the diagram, FD is equal to EC. It's given. And also we can see AD equals BC. Opposite sides of a parallelogram. Opposite sides of a parallelogram. Then what else we know? Here, if these two lines are parallel, it's a parallelogram, this angle is equal to this angle. Corresponding angles are equal. You can write down FDA angle is equal to ECB angle. FDA and ECB angle are equal. So corresponding angles are equal. What's the reason why these two angles are equal? AD is parallel to BC because of a parallelogram. Therefore, now we have side, angle, side. So the two triangles are congruent. So you can say ADF triangle is congruent to, what's the other angle? BEC. What's the case? Side, angle, side. So that's the first step. So how can we give the marks for the first part? So how we give marks? So by drawing the diagram, you get 1 mark there. By marking all these information, you are getting 1 mark. And then you get 3 marks for proving this one. So you get 3 marks for that. And now we'll do the next part. You have to show that ABEF and AGHF are parallelograms. ABEF. So we have to take ABEF and AGHF. Why these two are parallelograms? Let's look at the diagram ABEF. ABEF, this one. What can we say? Now, we found these two are congruent triangles. So, congruent triangles, we know the corresponding elements are equal. So, this length, this part, AF length should be equal to EB length. Corresponding elements are equal in a congruent triangle. These two are equal. Or we can say easily this one. This length is parallel to this length. These two lengths are parallel. And what can we say about DE and EC? Both are equal. If these two are equal, this length and this length also equal. So, 2 parts of that is same as this AB because it's a parallelogram. So, 2 parts of that should be same as AB. So, if you can show that AB is equal to FE and AB is anyway parallel to FE, 1 pair of side parallel and equal, then you can say ABCD is a parallelogram. So, that's what you have to write. So, we'll write down that. You can write AB is parallel to FE because that line is anyway the line for the ABCD parallelogram. So we can write AB is parallel to FE because ABCD is a parallelogram. Yeah, I can write parallelogram like that. Okay, ABCD is a parallelogram. Then we have to show the AB length should be same as FE. We can say AB is twice of DE because E is the midpoint. AB is twice of DE. AB is twice of DE because E is the midpoint. Then what can you say about the other side? AB is twice of DE. So you can say this is also twice, same length, DE, EC, FD. All are equal. DE, DE, EC, FD. EC, FD all are equal. So you can say FE is equal to FE also double of DE. So these two are equal. So therefore AB and FE are equal. So A as well as parallel. So you can say ABEF is a parallelogram. What's the reason? One pair of opposite sides equal and parallel. One pair of sides equal and parallel. So that's the proof of that. Then how you prove the other part? AGHF. AGHF. Now we have to look at AGHF. Now we can use the other part. Now we said we mark this and corresponding elements are equal. This is equal to this. And what else? Or you can say, now in this case, this line AG is parallel to BC because ABCD is a parallelogram. Shall we write here? AG line parallel to BC because ABCD is a parallelogram. These two lines are parallel. Now, because we proved that ABEF is a parallelogram, then these two lines are also parallel. AF is parallel to BH. That's the same straight line. Then you can say this is because ABEF is a parallelogram. Now we have pair of opposite sides are parallel. So definitely this is a parallelogram. So then we can say AG, what's a parallelogram? AGHF. AGHF is a parallelogram. Because opposite sides are, the reason is opposite sides are parallel. So that's the proof for, I'll divide this part. So this is the proof for the other part, AGHF. So how many marks for that part? You are getting again another 3 marks. 3, 3, 6 and 7. So now last part you have to show that the two areas are equal. Two parallelogram areas are equal. Now look at carefully. So this is This one is one parallelogram. And the other one is here. What can you observe? Same base, common base is there. And the two lines are parallel. This line and this line parallel. And within the two parallel lines. So that means the height is the same. If base and height is the same, the areas are equal. So we can do the last part. We can say AF is a common base for both parallelograms. Both parallelograms in between two parallel lines AF and BH. AF and BH. So therefore, height is the same. So same base and same height, areas are equal. So therefore, area of ABEF and AGHF are equal. So that's the last part. I'll separate this one. So that's how we can prove that the two areas are the same. So for the last part also, you are getting 3 marks. So altogether, 10 marks for the whole question. Question number 12, it's about sets. So let's do this question. An incomplete Venn diagram drawn to represent the information collected from 60 homes in a certain location on the use of firewood, gas and electricity to prepare food is shown below. All the homes that use electricity also use the two types of firewood and gas. Copy the given Venn diagram onto your answer script if the set A denotes the homes that use firewood. So this one is given firewood. This one firewood. Name the set B and set C. Now this information given, all the homes that use electricity also use the two types of firewood and gas. So that means the C, the electricity set should be a subset of the other sets. So it should be the smaller one. So we can easily identify C should be the part here. C is the part. In this case, this is electricity, using electricity. Use electricity. Then B becomes, which part is the other one? Gas. Gas, using gas. So you have to label. B is those who are using gas, and C should be those who are using electricity. So you get how many marks for that part? You get 2 marks for identifying this as well as copying down this Venn diagram, you will get 1 mark. Then part 2, the number of homes that do not use any of the firewood, electricity and gas. Do not use any of the firewood, electricity and gas. Outside the 3 circles is 5. This is given 5. And the total is given 60 homes. 60 homes are there. So you can mark 60 here. Then the number of homes that use firewood is 24. So this full circle is 24. We can just put on the circle there. The number of homes that use gas is 48. Just put 48 on the circle B. How many homes use only gas? Only gas is this part. Now if the full circle is 24 and you have to find this one. Now 5 outside. So 60 minus 5 is 55. So 55 should be the whole 2 circles. If 24 there for this circle, so 55 minus 24. That's 31 should be in this part. So that's the part for using only gas. So how many are there? 31. So you are getting 2 marks for that. Then let's do the next part. How many homes use both firewood and gas? Both firewood and gas. This and this intersection. This part we have to identify. How we identify? Here, this is 31. This is 48. If this is 40 and this is 31, straight away you can use 48 minus 31. 17 is the intersection. So how many homes use both firewood and gas? That's 17. These 2 parts, 17. So again, we can give marks for that part. Identifying that, that's 2 marks. Then the next part, the number of homes that use electricity is equal to the number of homes that use only firewood. So what are these 2 parts? Only electricity means this. If it's X, then only electricity and only firewood. Only firewood is this X. How we find out that part? Now we found this is 17. This intersecting part is 17. When you subtract 17 from 24, you can find this X. So here you can find first X is equal to 24 is the full circle minus 17. So that should be 7. So they are asking how many homes use only the 2 methods, firewood and gas. Firewood and gas. This part they are asking. So that's X. Firewood and only firewood and gas means not that part. This is everything. Firewood, gas, electricity. But what is the other part? Other part is outside. So other part is this outside. We found out this part is 17 and the inside part is 7. So 17 minus 7, you get 10. That's the answer for this part. How many homes use only the two methods? Only firewood and gas. 17 minus 7, that's 10. 10 is the answer. Shade the region that represent these homes in the Venn diagram. So you have to shade outside of these two circles, this part. So you have to color this part. So you get 1 mark for that shading part. So for the last part, you get 1 mark for finding 7, 1 mark for finding 10, and 1 mark for the shading part. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then previous one, 7, 3 marks, 7 and 3 marks, you get 10 altogether. So we covered all questions in paper 2. So in paper 2, you already know you don't have to do all questions, all 12 questions. So you have to do 5 questions from first part, part A, and 5 questions from part B. And make sure that you spend how many minutes for each question? Roughly 18 minutes. 18 minutes per question, and try to complete this paper within 3 hours.
To watch these important lessons, subscribe to DP Education's YouTube channel right now. Click on the bell icon to stay updated on the latest lessons. Sri Lanka's largest free online school, DP Education.